So we're going to we want a fire bin. That's our goal, is a fire bin. But I also want you to think of what we're going to harvest out of this. Now you would have thrown this out, wouldn't you? You know, ordinarily you'd say, oh, it's not my cup of tea, oof, and out it would go. So what we're going to do, because remember, this is a washing machine now, but it's arrived in the factory as a whole load of parts. And we're going to harvest every little screw. We're going to unmanufacture it to see what we can get out of it. So we'll get the screws out of it, won't we? And you do this enough times, or you take this frame of mind with everything that you're going to throw away, or anybody else throws away, you'll get clean aluminium out of it. Save enough of that together, you can get a bag full and take it to the scrapyard. There's money for nothing. The tin you might use for something, a repair, a flat one like this, maybe not so much. But you know, again, we're not going to hammer it with an axe. We're just going to cut our way through it. So we've got the electric. The tools we've chosen to bring with us, we're pretending, although we're around the corner and the garage is shut, we're bringing the full set out, so that we know. The reason to use this like this is we know what we've brought. So we know if we've put one down out the way, when we go from here, we'll know that's got to be full. And this has got to be full. So, shall we begin? So it's sort of, we're going to be harvesting it. We're going to be pulling the bits out of it. And let's put it on the tray and let's see what we get out of here. Yeah. We're doing okay. We're doing a-okay. That's a slightly different one. It's a really small one, that one is. Smaller than that even. Wow. Got it. That's some sort of catch, that is. So we'll have to keep the other side of that before we completely butcher it. We're getting there. We are getting there. Just a bit at a time. Working on it. If they put it together, we can take it apart, can't we? Yeah. So we've got the advantage of anything that gets in our way, we can just cut it out. Yeah. We can peel it like an orange, can't we, if we want to? So, we've got the drum out. Well, the drum is in there. We've got to get it out from there next. But there's quite a bit of cabling. There's quite a few connections on the end. Because remember, it's all simple stuff. It's all clip in and clip out stuff, isn't it? I mean, if it's easier, if you haven't got one of those, it's easier just to solder two wires together to get one of those. You've got that out of it, haven't you? You've got the cable out of it. I mean, you should really strip these out into their individual lengths, yeah, to get the most out of them. Because remember, we're not going to use them back on this job, are we? We're going to do them on something else. They're going to keep us out of the doo-doo somewhere else. You're doing okay. We've got a bit of whatever this was. We've got a bit of cable protection, haven't we? We've had a little clip there, and we've had a little clip there for some hose on something somewhere at a later date. We've got a bit of a belt that we might be lucky with and keep us out of trouble. We've got a nice wheel. We can make something look nice in the garage, or it's a good stand, isn't it? It's a basis of a stand for something. If you had something and you wanted a stand, you've now got a stand, haven't you? And again, a little clip and another piece of rubber hose. How many times do you want a little piece of rubber hose just to do a little job? Throw this in the cupboard with the rest of the rubber hoses and you've got something, haven't you? Okay, we've got two springs here. There's not many fixings come out. Nevertheless, if you had a job and you needed one of these, first of all you'd have to run off to the DIY store and you'd probably have to buy a packet of 10, wouldn't you? Was a minimum purchase, or usually it's a box of 100, isn't it? If that's exactly what you want. Well, it's nice to just have that exactly in your stores, a little cupboard in a little drawer, and you collect enough of them, then you can separate them away, can't you? But if that was the difference between, if that's exactly what you were looking for to repair something or to, you know, make something look nice and not look odd, you've got one now, haven't you? It cost you nothing because you were going to scrap it and throw it away anyway. And we've got a few parts that we can disassemble even further. So we've got those bits out of it. We've got that bit that we can disassemble a bit more. That we can disassemble a bit more. And this we can disassemble. Okay, that's got to be thrown away. I'll tell you what we'll do with this. Yeah, I use these. No, this one's less good. I'll show you what I use. What use these for? Nice jars just to throw stuff in. Maybe a flower pot or something. Grow something in it. It's come for nothing. You could make a feature in the garden. You could, if you're doing some sort of a concrete work, you could stick that out. Maybe look nice. Who knows? This needs a bit more stripping, bit more gentle dismantling on this. We'll salvage a few more of the bits, and remember they're coming for nothing. And this, okay, it's a tube now, but it could be cable protection if you put a slot down here, or even if you had some vulnerable cable on a project somewhere, you could cut this and run it through, coming through a bulkhead or something like that. There's loads and loads of possibilities once you break them down to their original parts. So anyway, shall we crack on? Shall we break? Nice clip here. Shall we break into this now, shall we? I wonder if it's glued or is it clipped? It sort of looked, because remember, these are made as fast as possible, aren't they? They make hundreds of them in a day. So it's all been put together, clip, bang, glue. So let's attack this now then. So we want to dismantle it. So we brought the tools to dismantle it, but also, just in case old-fashioned violence is required, He-Man violence, we're ready for that as well. So let's see if we can disconnect this first. I think it was a 40. Yeah. Oh, coming out easy. So before we continue with that, oh, I think it's just basically screwed into, it must be screwed into plastic or something, I suppose. Anyway, let me get this ready for you. I'll be back. Ooh, I'll be back. Wow, these are lovely, aren't they? Wow, you could screw them into wood. I mean, they've been screwed into plastic, but if you wanted some good fixings, these are your puppies. You just, you only have to, generally you put 2 fixings on something. You only need to be in a project where you need to have 2 fixings into a good bit of wood. You've got 2 really good fixings for free into your collection, haven't you? I mean, as stupid as it seems, if you had a bit of a muddy path somewhere and you did this on a regular basis, you said yes to every washing machine you got, you'd even build yourself a few bits of concrete to make you could put this on a muddy ground, couldn't you? And put some gravel on top. You've got a good base, haven't you? You've just got to think outside the box. 2 bits of concrete, break it up, make crazy paving, or just lie it there and then cover it with stones. If you're in a muddy area, in your garden or in your path or something, you've just got to, what else can I use it for? So I think this now is bonded. Pretty sure it's glued in. So we're going to do a bit of violence on it. Yeah. Let's do a little bit of violence on it and see how we get on. I don't know, we want to go out a bit, don't we? Yeah. Let's see how we get on. I think it'll just shatter. Plastic in it. Somewhat broke. Ooh, quite brittle. Really quite brittle. Oh. We're going to have a smashing time breaking this up. Okay, you could use the hammer axe and just chop it. But you've got less control because this could go past the plastic and dent your tin, couldn't it? So this way, you're still getting your action, but less chance of going all the way through damaging the drum. This easy peasy. This plastic is really brittle. Really, really brittle. brushing afterwards. The bits are getting everywhere. Woohoo! Say, that's the drum retrieved. Oh, lovely jubbly. We can deal with the rest now. Cut the end off. We've got ourselves the beginning of a fire drum. Wow. Lovely jubbly. Well, I mean, even this, if you've got an allotment, a garden tub or something, if you wanted a garden tub somewhere, I mean, I don't imagine it being any sort of pretty looking garden tub, but you could paint that, couldn't you? If you got the paint for free, you got the tub for free, you'd have to think out the box. But if you needed some sort of a container to grow something, and you know, a couple of holes in the bottom maybe, otherwise, because this is brittle plastic, it can break up to nothing and go in the bin. So what you can do now, look, is just see that takes a lot of room in the bin, doesn't it? All you have to do is break it up into little bits, and you can put it into your weekly bin now, can't you? That's no big thing, is it? Put these in your weekly bin, or take it to work and put it in works bin. So right, so you've got the thing, the gist of the idea now, haven't you? We've got our fire bin, slightly different. It doesn't got them square things to hold it in, has it? We might have to make something over here, possibly. Who knows? Get rid of those plastic things within it, no problem. Yeah, and we're done. Yeah, we're on to the next stage. So I just noticed the volume was very poor on how I was explaining about hammering the axe and not using the axe. The thing is, when you're swinging an axe, it's breaking it, yes, but it's breaking it through. So it could have damaged the drum, it could have bent the drum on the inside. When you're using the axe and hitting it with a hammer, you have more control. You have more control of where you're hitting, and you're not hitting it uncontrollably and damaging what's underneath. We wanted to take the shell off, didn't we? So how can I re-explain that to you? You see, when you do this, the axe is giving a blow, but it's also passing. When it breaks through, it breaks what's underneath. Whereas when you hit it with a hammer, I feel you've got more control. This doesn't uncontrollably break its way through. That's what I was trying to explain to you when the volume wasn't working. Right, let's crack on. So, ultimately, what did we recover? What did we recover? We got a bit of tubing, we got a bit of piping that'll protect any wiring. You know, you're doing a project and the wires rub in, or you want to protect it from something, you can put it down there, can't you? We've got another bit of a rubber tube here. Got another bit of a tube here. Bit of a belt thing there. A hinge. That you would possibly make fit something. A couple of those big screws. A couple of big springs. A base for something you wanted to make. Look at this. A return spring. That is a lovely return spring on something. We've got a little pin and a clip here to use in a project. We've got quite a few of these little pipe clips, haven't we? Wow. And we've got a few fixings. Machine screws. Now, if this is what's fallen out of your current thing and you wanted one of those, Where the hell are you going to go and get one of those? Where the hell are you going to buy one of those? You're not, aren't you? You're going to go on the internet, you're going to get the wrong size, you're going to get the wrong thing. It's not going to arrive, is it? Because you've lost this. This is broken. But if you came round to my store and you said to me, Reggie, I bet you haven't got one of these, you idiot, I would go plop, 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 pull the drawer of stripped items, and we'd search and we'd find one of those, wouldn't we? So yeah, so you just, and if you do it enough times, this is okay, it doesn't look like a lot, but if you were in the doo-doo and you needed 3 of those to finish your job, or you needed 3 of those and you ain't got 3 of those, you're in the doo-doo. So it's worth as much as you want it to be worth, and you've just got to use your imagination. There's a little motor here. If you were electrically inclined and you knew how to get this running and you knew how many volts it took, you'd I can imagine, have you ever seen them wasps' nests? You could put this outside of a wasp's nest going round like hell with maybe a bit of wire on it, and outside the entrance to the wasp's nest, and it would whop them as they came out. Have you seen them videos? You could make a video of one of them, couldn't you? Got a little container, little flat disc there. We've got a bit of aluminium, should you collect enough of it. All this lot can be smashed up small enough to go in the bin. We've got lengths, this is to be stripped again, so we've got lengths of wire. You know, if you wanted that sort of wire to do a little job and you haven't got it, where are you going to get it from? That's the thing. They're only useful when they're useful, and they might come in useful. They sit on your shelf for years and years maybe. But if I told you to go to the local DIY store, they don't sell it by the foot or the 2 foot, do they? How much length is in this? A couple of 2 foot lengths? If you wanted a couple of 2 foot lengths of a bit of wire, where would you get it from? And you'd have to go and buy a whole roll of it, wouldn't you? And remember, we've had this for nothing. We've had all this ultimate, Anthony. We've ultimately had all this for nothing, haven't we? And this was all going to be thrown, this was going to pass you by. And if you were a micro scrapper like Ian Williams, have you seen him? Fantastic channel. You'd strip the copper out of this, wouldn't you? And you'd collect enough of it, and one day you'd have a bin full to take to the scrapyard. Even these digital boards, if you're that way inclined. But I'm quite happy. We've got a fire bin. We've got possibly something to put a plant in, decorate around it, and we've got a few fixings and a few clips. So all in all, to consider we ain't paid anything for it, and our time, you know, my time to me is free. We're off over the holidays, aren't we? So and if you took this frame of mind on everything, you would soon build yourself a little unbeatable little pot of fixings that would fix everything. Oh, let me have a look. It's in this bucket here somewhere. Put it on the floor, spread it about on the board. That's what I want. Yeah. The reason I like things in boxes like this is we're finished now. And have we got all our screwdrivers with us? Yes. We're finished now with all the sockets in. That one was missing for a while, but we found it. So that's all done. Are these all in? Yeah. Is this all in? Great. So we can, we know we're taking back what we brought. And remember, we've gained electric motor out of it. If it works, and probably it's the brain box or something was leaking on the washing machine, but it doesn't smell. But we've got an electric motor out of it, haven't we? So we can put a buffing wheel or whatever we fancy on there, make some sort of mounting for this. And we've got an electric motor. So win-win all around. Definitely. Do you remember we made that hammer rack, didn't we? And we had this and it was overflowing. Hammers on top. And we've got hammers on top of here. we've definitely got to make another hammer rack to keep the smaller hammers on, haven't we? We did get it out of that tidying up that chair thing, so that's another job we've got to crack on with, so that we can maybe collect a few more hammers. So we better give the floor a good brushing, because we don't want to end up in the doghouse, because this is where Debbie parks her car, isn't it? We don't want to give her any punctures and get the blame for it. And you see how handy this is? It's sort of being outside whilst at the same time being inside. It's a handy cover to do any work that you would have done, you know, if the weather's a bit off, weather's a bit showery, a bit wet, but you still want to do something outside. So it's an outside space whilst at the same time being an inside space. They're quite useful. Come here, make a hell of a mess, give it a brush, put the car in, back okay again. This tent, this Clark's Garage tent thing is doing quite well. It's really doing quite well. So this is what I did with the previous washing machine door window glass thing. I tend to, if I've got something and it's a bit odd, I just throw it in here, and then what happens then is when this gets full, you've got enough stuff to sort of sort out. Then you've got enough, but there's loads of different and odd sizes, or I haven't got a home for that. So I mean, you know, that these sort of, you know, so that's the previous. As you can see, look, it's glass. It's can you see? Look, it's glass. So this is a previous washing machine door lid holder thing. Yeah, I've had it for years and years. So we've got the fire. Oh, gentle. Ooh, don't knock anything. Goes through the garage. Hold on, nice and steady. I'm going to use this, look. These, we've got 3 of these. We've just got to figure out the lengths we're going to use. So we've got one there. Got one there. I've seen one in here somewhere. And we found some more of this other stuff to we saw it somewhere. Yeah, we found another length of this, haven't we? So we can do shells. Lovely. And look, we've got another one of these. We've got one in the garage. We've got 3 of these now, so we're going to do a crisscross of legs, but that's going to be another day. I've done what I've done today. So we're going to do a tripod. 3, figure out the length and figure out how to secure them. Well, measure a ring and warm a ring. I think we'll have plenty enough left to be able to make a ring. We might even cut it in half. So anyway, there's the tub. There's the legs. We've got another one in the garage. I think we're going to be all right. I think we're going to do just fine. Here we are now. Passat is going away for Passat's going away for the evening, and Debbie's puke is going away for the evening. So next time I come out playing. Keep your eyes open, and we'll come out playing. I'll give you. You've got an invite to come with me next time we come out playing. Let's just shut Debbie's. Let's just. Ooh! You gotta watch this door, this big, in the wind. You gotta be very careful with it. You get a gust of wind. So Oh, got to pick that plastic up. Belongs to us, doesn't it? Yeah. Right. So put Debbie's car to sleep, and like I say, next time we come out playing, we'll make a fire bin, shall we?